So, someone asked me if I could make a video about exercise. And I thought, why not? That's a great idea. If you don't know, I was a trainer for 10 years. I was a competitive power lifter and bodybuilder. And through this quarantine, I've actually put on more muscle with way less equipment than I've ever had in my life. This equipment is all brand new. I've never had access to this kind of stuff. So for the bulk of the quarantine, I actually just had basic things. I had a band, I had a 35-pound set of dumbbells, which were too heavy for me to curl, because I'm not that strong, and gymnast rings. So I'm gonna explain to you how I've actually put on muscle on my arms. You know, everybody's favorite muscle, biceps. Okay, so warm up, okay? Ischemic vasodilation, where you're building up those metabolites. You know, we talked about this, or if you're not there yet in medical school, then you're going to talk about it. You got these metabolites that build up in response to ischemia, and that's to get the blood vessels to vasodilate. When they vasodilate, you get more blood. So warm up, do 2-3 sets of biceps before you even get going, okay? Do a bunch of warm-ups. Now, while you're warming up, I'm gonna demonstrate with these 10 pounds. You might need to warm up even lighter with 5 pounds, that's fine. I try to keep the tension on my bicep, because my main goal is to fatigue my bicep, not my forearms, not my shoulders. So I change I like pulse the weight. I do more pulse kind of movements to fatigue the bicep and make it work harder. Doing these little pulse things. Now, I know people say you gotta do full reps. Yeah, well, you also have to activate the muscle that you're trying to work, okay? So, I really try to do these pulses. I'm only using 10 pounds, and I don't go very heavy. I really don't go very heavy. Okay, so pulsing, really nice way to get blood into the muscle. You know, you can do eccentrics. Just the whole point, activate the bicep, okay, with your warm-up. Whole point. Okay, so now, you've warmed up, okay? Now, here's a really cool trick that I learned to really get the bicep to activate, okay? There's two things. Okay, first off, we don't wanna hit the pronators, because that's not what we're trying to work. We're not trying to work the forearm muscles, we're trying to work the biceps, and the biceps supinate. So supinate your wrist. Supinate the wrist, okay? Supinate the wrist as far open as you can go. You know, be careful with your wrist, but supinate, okay? And then I also like to slightly, see, I'm not here, I get a break. I'm not really working that hard at this angle, and I know a lot of people do curls like this, okay? I try to keep a little tension, so maybe there's 3 tips of this. I like to keep a little tension with this. Do little pulses, okay? And I try to think about pushing the weight up to the sky, okay? Push it up. Push it up, okay? Rather than like trying to curl from the elbow, I'm not trying to curl from my elbow. That's not my goal. I'm trying to like push, keep tension on the bicep and push it up, okay? There's some little tricks with that. All right, now, go light. I know a lot of people have a huge ego with this, me included. Everybody likes to go heavier, and I found that going heavier is usually not a smart idea, because you can't like activate the muscle that you're trying to work. You start incorporating all these other muscles into the movement, right? So you start getting more of the deltoid, the forearm, because you're trying to hold on to the weight. So I actually don't go very heavy. The heaviest I go now is only 15 pounds. And I found that I'm growing bigger biceps doing it this way. And I'm also not using barbells. I have access to barbells now. I still don't use them. Main reason is barbells put a lot of pressure on your wrist. They put a lot of pressure on your elbow. And if those things get inflamed, man, you can't really exercise because they're used in a lot of different movements. And tendonitis, if you've had it, it sucks and it's hard to get rid of. So the heaviest I go is 15 pounds because I feel like that, for me, that's the most weight that I can handle and really work the muscle and work the target, work what I'm trying to work. So with 15 pounds, I'm, say this is my top weight, okay? This is my top weight. I'm trying to get tension in the bicep, okay? go for maximum tension right there. And I'm supinating my wrist. Also might even take out a little wider to get that stretch in the bicep, right? Get that maximum tension, 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 tension. I might even pulse it. And that's what's nice. Like if you're doing 60-pound dumbbells, you can't do this. You can't pulse it up and down, it's too heavy. But with 15s, they're just heavy enough to cause constant tension, but they're not so light that I can like just, it'll take me forever. I'm gonna be fatiguing out. Oh. Now here's another thing. Go to fatigue with biceps. Oh. Doing partials are really nice. Maybe the bottom half. Really burn the arms out, okay? Another trick, I'm gonna drop them for a second, let the vasodilation, let the metabolites get out of my muscles, and then grab them again, no rest, go right back into activating those muscles. This is something you'll do maybe more in later sets, not your first couple. You wanna get a good warm up, but you really try to get activation like this. Okay, all right. Okay, so now that's for the bicep, right? So you really want to supinate, and you want to keep constant tension on the muscle. Say if your goal was more the brachialis or the forearm muscles. Personally for me, that was never really my goal, because I found that if your forearms are really muscular, they take away from your biceps, and vice versa. If you have really big biceps, usually those guys have really small forearms, because it like one overpowers the other, okay? But if your goal is to do more forearm work, definitely supination is the key, right? So turning the hands, or excuse me, pronation. Turn the hands the other direction, okay? This, I don't really feel it as much in my biceps. I feel a lot more in the brachialis, okay? Right, I'm not lean enough, you can't see it, but it's the muscle that sits between your bicep and your tricep, okay? So, it's like, yeah, not lean enough. Some people are lean enough, but like right in there, somewhere in there. But doing these pronated hammer curls, they're really good. Those are a nice addition, okay? Nice way. I try to avoid doing those because, you know, if you're really trying to get more biceps, work just what you need to work the supination. So on the same subject of forearms and the brachialis, if that's your goal, then these fat grips are a great addition. I mean, you could slap these onto bands, you can slap them onto anything, which is super cool. I'm gonna slap this onto a dumbbell. You just put it right through the handle. Okay. So I have the weights like this, and so it's nice that I have a thicker handle. I have to engage my my grip muscles a lot more, and this is a really nice way to really activate that brachialis muscle, you know, and your radiobrachialis muscle, the one that sits right on the top of the arm, right here. Okay, so let's do a recap. Warm up, kind of go light, you know, and during that warm up, you want to activate the muscle, because that's the whole point, right? You want to get blood into the muscle that you're trying to work. Who would have thought? Leave your ego at the door. And it's maybe good that you're not going to a gym, because it doesn't matter how heavy you're going. Pick a weight that you can really activate and make the muscle work, okay? Going too heavy is gonna kill your gains. I think with most people, the problem is not going too light, it's going too heavy. You know, you gotta feel the muscle, okay? What's your whole point? If you're trying to be a weightlifter, like a competitive power lifter or something, the goal is to put on more weight on the bar, okay? If your goal is to put on more muscle, the weight doesn't matter. And when I learned that, I started actually put on muscle. So, you know, keep tension on the muscle, go light. Don't go so heavy, or lightish. Don't go too light. Supinate the wrist. Supinate the wrist heavily. Do the kind of push movement. That's a really nice addition. And then if your goal is to try to work forearms, use fat grips. They're great. So take this advice, go kick some butt, and you'll be the doctor with big arms pointing everybody to the beach. All right.